Hello, everyone. Greetings, everybody. I'm Priyanjali from Beautiful Spotless Skin team. I'm sure all of you must be keeping good health. I'm sure all of you are here today to learn something important. Well, we would like to welcome you to the special Instagram live. This is in this live we will be shedding light on a condition that affects millions worldwide. Acne isn't merely a surface issue; it can deeply impact one's emotional well-being beyond the physical blemishes. It can erode self-confidence, leading to anxiety, depression, and social withdrawal. Acne vulgaris is a chronic condition affecting more than 85% of adolescents and young adults. Yet, despite its prevalence, there are still widespread misconceptions and stigmas surrounding acne. That's why in today's life, we are aiming to dispel myths, promote understanding, and empower individuals to seek effective treatment. Today, we are diving into the topic acne management with our skin expert. Whether you're struggling with breakouts yourself or simply curious about maintaining clear, healthy skin, this session promises to be both informative and engaging. Today, we are honored to introduce Dr. Akansha Srivastava, a renowned skin expert from Mumbai. Dr. Akansha Srivastava is a distinguished consultant dermatologist and director at Dr. Akansha's Mumbai Skin Solution in Chembur East. With a comprehensive background including an MBBS, a DNB in dermatology, and FMUHS trichology, she is recognized for her expertise in a range of dermatological fields. Dr. Srivastava has garnered a acclaiming for her research, winning several prestigious awards at both national and international conferences. Her key areas of interest encompass dermatosurgery, hair transplant, vitiligo surgery, and the management of acne and pigmentation. Her commitment to advancing dermatological care and her innovative approach make her a leading figure in the field. Today, we are privileged to have her with us, and she will be sharing insights on acne and its management. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, Doctor, for joining us. Without further ado, over to the first question, which is what is acne and what are the types of acne lesion?
Okay, so as we all know, acne means pimples, or in Hindi we call it muhase, keel, dag. So the first stage is comedonal stage. It could be an open comedon or it could be a closed comedon. Okay, so the closed comedon is called a white bump, open comedon is called a black bump. Okay, blackheads in fact. So when this stage, the second stage is papule, in which there is a bump on your face. Okay, the third one is when this bump gets infected, which is called a pustule. And the next is nodule, when you get, big, thick bumps on your face, which actually leave acne scars. And these are the worst form of acne, the nodular ones. And they need long-term treatment.
Right. So we see a lot of people, whenever they see a lesion on the skin, they have a tendency of popping it. So how
Yeah.
harmful can that be, and can that lead to a deeper acne formation?
Yeah, so that's the worst thing actually which you can do to your skin. So not only just it will worsen your acne, that will lead to acne scars, that will lead to pigmentation, and they won't allow to heal your acne properly. So
Mm.
even the treatment takes longer to work if you're constantly, picking on your pimples. So please
Mhm.
avoid that.
Right, right. Doctor, also tell us, does specific area, specific area in face, like people who have acne here and then over the forehead, and also we see acne in the chin area.
Yeah.
So, does specific area means specific causes?
Yeah, definitely. See, when you get acne over your jawline, chin, or even neck, that
Mm.
usually point towards a hormonal etiology. So what happens is even if you take a lot of antibiotics or you are taking retinoids or you're applying a lot of creams, you don't improve because the hormonal cause is not yet addressed. So
Mm.
if there is acne on jawline, chin, or even if there is hair growth on your face or you're gaining a lot of weight, all these point towards a hormonal etiology, probably PCOS. Okay,
Mm.
so first thing first, you need to correct the cause of acne. Only then symptomatic treatment can work. Otherwise, just treating with creams and tablets won't work in the long run.
Right, right, right.
And
Moving
even
ahead,
like
doctor, what are the.
yeah.
Yes, please, please.
And yes, one more thing, on forehead, there are people who get acne only on forehead, and they keep on treating acne on forehead. But usually the cause is dandruff on the scalp. So if you
Right,
treat the dandruff, the acne gets resolved too.
right, right. Uh, well, so we are saying that treating the cause firstly is mainly important before
Mainly
treating the
important.
acne. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Moving ahead, doctor, what are the grades of acne?
Yeah, so like I said, I answered your first question. So
Mm-hmm.
grade one is comedonal, which is called blackheads or whiteheads. Then the second is papule, in which you get a simple bump. Then the third is pustule, where that acne is infected. And the fourth is nodules or acne scars.
So, is removing blackheads and whiteheads, which we normally do,
Yeah.
important?
Not by yourself, I would say, because you
Hmm.
don't know which one to remove and which one not to. Suppose you are walking into a parlor, even they remove blackheads. But
Right.
sometimes, that particular comedone is getting removed, which will in fact trigger more acne, deeper acne. So it's important to know which is to be removed and which is to be not.
So,
So,
so
and
what?
only a doctor who is experienced in
Mhm.
that field would be able to tell you.
Right. So now there are a lot of products available in the market
Yeah.
for removing blackheads and whiteheads. We get all those nose strips and all those charcoal masks, which can remove literally, it removes of one layer of your face maybe whenever we do it, or the tiny hairs, which we have, the facial hairs, it also removes that.
Yeah.
So what if people are continuously doing it? We see a lot of people using that on a daily basis. Also, we know that removing blackheads and whiteheads is a part of facial routine, the facial
Yeah.
routine we normally go through. So people are doing it on a regular basis. What do we have to say for them?
So, what I would say is, rather than getting constantly these acne or comedones removed, why not to focus on skincare? Why not to
Mhm.
prevent the occurrence rather than getting these constantly removed? Suppose you are saying like people do use charcoal masks or they
Right.
use those strips.
Hmm.
Suppose it's a blackhead. I still understand. I get it. Okay, it would be removed.
Right.
But what if it's a whitehead? It won't get removed with your charcoal sheet mask or any strip. So the best is to prevent acne, and if at all you're still getting acne, then get it removed on a definite interval from a qualified person rather than getting it done on and off every now and then.
So speaking about prevention, doctor,
Yeah.
what are the things we can do to prevent acne?
Okay. So see, just skincare is not enough. Acne
Hmm.
needs a holistic approach. You need to work on your diet first of all. You need to work on your lifestyle. Then you need to take care of of your skincare. And also, along with these, if at all there's a specific cause, then you need to get properly diagnosed and get the cause treated as well. When I say lifestyle, you need to sleep for 8 hours minimum. More than that, good enough, but no, lesser than that doesn't work. You need to drink at least 3 to 4 liters of water per day. You need to exercise for 30 minutes, at least like 5 times a week. You need to include green vegetables, citrus fruits, and nuts like almonds and walnuts in your diet. All these help in the long run. Then, when it comes to your skincare, then according to your skin type, choose a proper face wash, choose a proper sunscreen, a moisturizer, niacinamide, or serums containing vitamin C, but only after getting your skin examined, after getting properly diagnosed, knowing your skin type, only then the skincare will help. So it's a very holistic approach which works for acne, not just any treatment, I would say.
Right. Because we are talking about treatment, doctor, what are the treatments available currently to treat acne?
Okay. So that depends on the type of acne you have.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose you are in the preliminary stages, grade 1 or grade 2 acne. Usually, creams and tablets are sufficient. But if it is nodular acne or if it's acne scar, which we are working upon, then we need procedures as well. Now, those include Q switch laser, which works on pigmentation caused by acne. Then microneedling RF, which work on acne scars. CO2 laser, which again works on acne scars. Then there are dermatosurgery procedures for deeper scars. You know, like uh, subcision or microneedling. So these procedures also help in the long run. But again, these have to be repeated at specific intervals. One session won't cause you a lot of improvement, like at least 2 to 3 sessions are needed for every procedure.
Hmm. So what we are saying normally is whatever you're doing, do it under the expert's suggestion,
Exactly.
or please make sure आप किसी और को देख के नहीं कर रहे हैं just because the other person sitting next to you has a flawless skin and but he or she is getting those treatments. Don't do that, please don't do that. Everybody has a different skin. When we are talking about skin, doctor, we know that genes, it plays a very important role, and we
Very
tend to
critical.
forget it. We just focus on the things which they are using, the things
Yeah.
which they are consuming, specifically medicines.
Yeah.
The people are in a different world nowadays where people are definitely concerned about their skin. They are also very much keen towards having a glass Korean skin.
Yeah.
We can't become Koreans. It's not possible. We can change entirely the entire race of your, all your ancestors. They have had a different altogether skin, which will definitely reflect on our skin as well. Speaking about skincare, doctors, skincare products are here and there everywhere in the market nowadays. People are using everything they see, or any new products which the brand launches, or the influencers. We follow our influencers a lot nowadays. So,
Yeah.
how do we find the right product for our skin? We know what's your answer going to be. You are definitely going to say that please suggest your expert. But for the
Yeah.
people who are using all of it together, they are using an eye gel, they are using niacinamide, they are using all the retinoids, everything are using all at once. How can it affect their skin? We are also going to talk about sunscreen after that, but please tell us, how can these regular frequent usage of all those skincare products affect our skin?
So I'll go one by one. So
Okay.
I'll tell you what I see in my practice when people come with a bag full of products that we are using all of these. Now tell us what not to use and what to use. First thing first, there are a lot of steroid creams in the market. Okay, which are basically fairness creams. People use it for melasma, people use it for acne even, and usually suggested by a neighbor or a parlor lady or a chemist. A dermat won't suggest a steroid cream to be applied on face for sure. So, what these do? Suppose somebody in your neighborhood has applied it for 5 days and her pigmentation, which was mainly due to some sort of inflammation, has actually settled. Then everybody in the neighborhood starts using that particular cream. That okay, we'll get 1 tone or 2 tone fairer with that. And then in otherwise they get a lot of acne, they get a lot of hair on face, and then they come to us that why this particular cream is not suiting us because it is not meant to. So
Hmm.
please, in any scenario, avoid steroid creams on face unless and until there's a skin allergy or a disease for which the dermat herself or himself has prescribed that steroid cream for your face. Okay. Next comes retinol. First of all, it's a very good ingredient, I would say, when it comes to acne, when it comes to pigmentation, when it comes to anti aging. So, yes, you should try a retinol, but only after getting examined. And there's a particular way to apply retinol. First of all, it should be applied only at night. Then, when you wash your face at night, the skin barrier is actually disrupted. Okay. So you need to wait for 10-15 minutes before applying a night cream containing retinol on your face. You need to wash your face because it has to be clean. But then you need
Hmm.
to wait for 10 to 15 minutes so that the barrier reforms. And then apply only little quantity of retinol cream or serum on your entire face. And initially spare the areas around your eyes and mouth because these are most sensitive. Okay, initially keep it only for a shorter duration, like half an hour, and then wash it off. Gradually increase the time, but never increase the quantity. Like I would say, pea size is enough for your face. Okay, so and suppose even despite doing all of these, you're still getting burning sensation, you're still getting dryness on your face, you're still getting redness on your face. Please stop it. Then you might have to use encapsulated versions of retinol, which are also available. Next, vitamin C. Again, a good ingredient. It's also sun protective and it provides, a kind of glow to your skin. But again, vitamin C is not for everyone. Some people they have severe reaction to vitamin C. So what I would advise is, before using a vitamin C on your entire face, please use it on the corner of your face, a patch test like thing. Use it for like 3-4 days. If you see that there's no reaction, nothing, then you can use it on your entire face. Okay. And suppose you are getting irritation, please stop it. That's not for some time. You're not the person who should use vitamin C. Next comes niacinamide. I would say it's jack of all trades, master of none. It would work to an extent for everything. So yes, if you have normal skin types, one or two acne here and there, slight pigmentation, yes, it's a good ingredient for you. But if you have severe acne, then just niacinamide won't work. And azelaic acid, again, it's a super product, but it irritates like hell. So you start with smaller concentrations of azelaic acid, like 5%, 10%, and then move on to 15 or 20%. But azelaic acid, retinol, I personally think these should be prescription based products,
Right,
not anything random anybody else has suggested you, or you've seen it on Instagram and then you're just buying it and applying it. Doesn't work.
right, right. Absolutely. Well, what we would say is stop using your skin as a tester. You are not a guinea
Yeah.
pig. Don't do that. There are trained professionals who knows how to handle your skin. And please,
Exactly.
people are trying to save money, not visiting a doctor. All they are trying to do is save some money. But
And in
in
the long
visiting,
term,
you're
they're not even
spending more.
saving money.
Yes,
In the
you're
long term, they're
spending
not
more.
even saving money because they are
Absolutely.
spending a lot more buying random
Yes,
products.
yes, the products are costing a lot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, these products are expensive. And
Yeah.
then after you ruin your skin, you visit a doctor. In that manner, you have to spend because she or he will give you a list of products or a list
Yeah.
of medicines to get it cured. You are anyway ruining your skin, risking your health, and also spending a lot of money. Don't do that. Please
Right.
act wise and stay safe, of course. Visit your nearest dermatologist if you want any changes on your skin, because nowadays everything and anything is possible. So make sure you are doing it under a professional's guidance. Moving ahead, doctor, sunscreen. I
Yeah.
said we are going to talk about sunscreen. Uh,
Yeah.
the hype of sunscreen has hyped. We don't know how. What is the marketing strategy, or is it a gimmick? There are a lot of people wondering that is it true? हमने बचपन में कभी नहीं सनस्क्रीन लगाया, अचानक से क्यों सब कोई बोल रहे हैं सनस्क्रीन लगाने? आजकल डॉक्टर्स भी बोल रहे हैं. हमें तो
Yeah.
कहा जाता था कि धूप में जाके बैठिए, take some direct sunlight, but nowadays doctors, dermatologists are saying कि धूप में मत बैठिए, अगर बैठ भी रहे मेक श्योर यू अप्लाइंग समथिंग एंड कवरिंग योर स्किन. तो ये चेंजेस कैसे अचानक से, एंड इज इट रियली इम्पोर्टेंट? इज अप्लाइंग सनस्क्रीन इम्पोर्टेंट?
तो अचानक से नहीं है, अचानक से पता चला है. द थिंग इज कि इंडिया इज नॉट अ वेरी रिसोर्स रिच कंट्री. सो वी फोकस फ्रॉम ऑन बेसिक्स फर्स्ट. So like previous generation, abhi they were so busy in like getting food, shelter, and basic things in life that they were not actually worried so much about skincare. But now, since you have the knowledge, then that is why you're using a lot of skincare on your face, and that is important. I'll give a simple example to those people who say कि धूप में पहले दिन रात बैठते थे. Of course, genes play a part here. Suppose your genes are too good and your collagen is not breaking down even while working 8 hours in the sun, then that's kind of exception, I would say. But you see a farmer who's actually working for 16 hours in the field, or at least 8 hours in the field. I have huge respect for them, but I'm just giving an example here. If you see, the area around their eyes, they show signs of aging at 25, 26, as young as that age. Why? Because they are constantly exposed to the sun.
Right.
So, if at all you have the knowledge and you have the resources, please use a sunscreen. That is important. If you ask me if there's one skincare which you can afford, it should be sunscreen. Everything else can wait. But sunscreen is a must. Next,
Right.
you ask the types of sunscreens in the market and the marketing gimmick. Yeah, a lot of people, even company reps, come to me. Our sunscreen lasts for like 8 hours, 10 hours. No, it's not possible. Any sunscreen, whether made in India or imported from outside, no matter Germany, US, Korea, anywhere, any sunscreen would last for at the max 2 to 3 hours on your skin. Then you have to repeat the application if you're out in the sun. Okay, so 8 hours, and then people apply once and they're out trekking or swimming the entire day, and obviously they'll get tanned. So you need to reapply sunscreen. And when I say reapply, first application should be always cream, gel, or lotion based. The spray form of sunscreen can be used only for reapplications. That couldn't be your first layer. Okay, next comes the type of sunscreen. So mineral based sunscreens are the best, I would say. They don't interact with your skin, they don't cause any chemical reaction, they don't cause any, allergic reaction to your skin. And then there are chemical sunscreens, or there are combination sunscreen which have both chemical and physical ingredients. They can be used in patients who don't have sensitive skin issues. Similarly, when it comes to children, a physical sunscreen containing zinc oxide is the best that they can use. So people with sensitive skin and children should prefer physical sunscreen. And people with, no skin issues, yes, they can opt for combination or chemical based sunscreens.
Right. And what about acne patients? Is it important for them as well to apply sunscreen?
Absolutely. See, first of all, a lot of sun exposure itself causes acne. Second, if you're not applying a sunscreen and you have acne, there are more chances that they'll leave dark patches on your face, which will take time to heal. And also, the scarring rate increases because your collagen is constantly getting degraded because of sun exposure. So, anyways, everyone should apply sunscreen, but when it comes to acne and melasma, it's mandatory.
Right. Right. So, which sunscreen would be most preferable for them?
In acne patients,
Yes.
physical
Yes.
sunscreen. Physical.
Physical sunscreens. Yes.
Yeah.
Moving ahead, Doctor. Let's talk about lifestyle changes, because initially you have mentioned that a proper lifestyle also depends on the formation of acne. So,
Yeah.
speaking about that, the stress also, trigger acne. Can We have already talked about the sleep which is required to
Yeah.
have or for a normal person. But
Yeah.
tell us about the diet. Tell us about the stress issue. Is it important? I mean, is there any correlation between it and acne?
Yeah. So, yes, stress induces acne itself because, the more, and it's not just mental stress, I would say, even physical stress contributes to acne. By physical stress, I mean, suppose one day you are sleeping for like 8 hours, but morning 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 5 p.m., and then again in the night, next day you're sleeping night time. 12 p.m., 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning. You're sleeping for 8 hours daily, but your sleep cycle is not very regular. So there's a gap of like 36 hours sometimes, okay, between your two sleep cycles. So you need to regularize your sleep cycle as well. I know people who have shift jobs, it's not possible for them, but still, if they can, then regularize and sleep for 8 hours. Next, coming to the lifestyle you were saying about. So you need to quit smoking, you need to quit alcohol. When it comes to diet, a lot of things might sound controversial here, but you know, dairy. We all feel that dairy is a must have in our diet, especially for vegetarians, because they don't have any other, good source of protein
Right.
other than dairy and pulses. But I would say, suppose like you're too keen to have dairy, please have one glass of milk or curd, but avoid solid forms of dairy. By solid forms, I mean paneer, I mean cheese, I mean milk chocolates, ice creams, or milkshakes, or any kind of product like that. If you can leave dairy completely, that's all the more good because dairy causes inflammation. Okay, and that contribute towards acne. So dairy is not a very good thing to have if you have an acne prone skin. Second, when it comes to non-vegetarians, chicken is okay, egg is okay, even fishes are fine. But red meat is something which you need to avoid again because it causes inflammation. Now, junk, sugars, white bread, we all know we need to avoid this, however difficult it may seem. But you should avoid junk at any cost. You need to avoid processed food. That even includes Maggi and soups which are ready to make. You need to avoid this because they have a lot of preservatives. Again, preservatives will again lead to inflammation, acne. Now, I told a lot of things which you shouldn't have if you have acne prone skin. Now, what to eat?
Mm.
Vitamin C rich fruits are very good. Even if vitamin C serums don't suit your skin, please have vitamin C rich fruits. That includes everything from your oranges to mosami, amla, then lemon, and even pineapples. If you're not allergic to pineapples, pineapples help in subsiding acne, and even kiwi. Then nuts, like I said previously, almonds, walnuts, dates, they do help. Green vegetables, they do help a lot. And the best thing to have any day, like I said, the best skincare to have, sunscreen. The best food item, which is not even included as food, is water. Please
Mm.
drink a lot of water. It cleanses your body, it detoxifies it, so it helps in the long run with every disease, not just skin. Suppose you're having any internal issues, even water helps with that.
Right. So basically, these changes, if we normally bring in our life, we are talking about acne today, but
Yeah,
these changes can bring a holistic change in your body.
exactly.
So make sure you're following such बेसिक थिंग्स जो आप बचपन से करते आ रहे हैं वो आपको अभी भी करना है जो चेंजेस हम बदलाव सोसाइटी के साथ और टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ इतना हम कीन हो जा रहे हैं कि सारे बदलाव हम लेके आ रहे हैं डोंट डू दैट बेसिक रहिए so basically we have learned a lot about acne today we have learned what are the types of acne what are the grades of acne ब्लैक हेड्स व्हाइट हेड्स को कैसे ट्रीट करना चाहिए क्या खाना चाहिए क्या अप्लाई करना चाहिए वी हैव लर्नड अ लॉट टुडे doctor after this very informative session before we take a leave today any take home message for our viewers who has watched us so far
Yeah. So अभी लाइक यू सेड कि सोसाइटी के साथ हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और उस चक्कर में अपना नुकसान कर रहे हैं, तो दोनों तरह के लोग हैं। जो
hmm.
लोग ज्यादा ही आगे बढ़ गए, जो पूरा प्रोसेस्ड फूड पे, रेडी टू मेक फूड पे ही रिलाई करते हैं, प्लीज गो बैक टू योर रूट्स, दैट विल हेल्प यू। एंड सेकेंड, वो लोग जो अटके पड़े हैं कि नहीं ऐसा चल रहा था तो ऐसा ही करना है, दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव बीन फॉलोइंग, नो। अभी
Right.
अगर आपको इंफॉर्मेशन है, you can't change everything, but at least you can avoid. When I say you have to stop eating red meat, okay, if you can't stop, I understand, but you can reduce the intake at least. If you can't sleep for 8 hours, that's okay, but since you know you need 8 hours of sleep, even if you
Hmm.
manage 6 or 7 hours, that will make at least some difference to your skincare, right?
Right.
So rather than spending a lot on skincare, of course, that's an important thing. You should spend, you should get the right skincare. But working on your diet, lifestyle, addictions is also equally important. Just medicines, just creams, just serums won't work.
Right. And by the end of the session, all we have to say is जितने भी लोग अभी भी confused हैं, what to do. The
Yeah.
simplest answer for this is visit your expert, अपने nearest dermatologist के पास जाए and get all your solutions handy. That was the expert advice for today, and that was Dr. Akansha for all of us. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your valuable time. It has been a very informative session for our viewers today, and we look forward to many more such sessions in coming time. Also, thank you, viewers, for your excellent participation. For more information and updates, stay connected on our Instagram page, Beautiful Spotless Skin. We are also available on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy.